Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner, and this is a gossip chat. Who said that? Anybody? Somebody? Nobody? Y'all know what's the blogs. It was the blogs, and y'all know everything. Cause like allegedly this happened. Allegedly they said that, but you so don't come trying to sue me. Don't do that, Lord Jesus. But there's a few topics we're gonna discuss today. But first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird, and all that goodness and stuff. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Okay? Inhale. Exhale. It will all be okay. We know it's a lot, okay? But remember to relax, relate, release. Okay. Yes, I have to add that now because there's so much heaviness in the world and we all need a break from it all. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, we all need a little bit of a break. So I'm going to try to give that to y'all today. I'm in a better mood today, surprisingly. And I think it's because we have to enjoy life. And we have to enjoy being alive because, people aren't. You know what I'm saying? My cousins lost their mom yesterday. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just try to bring some positivity in the air because there's so much going on, Lord Jesus. But let's get it started. Oh, don't forget to like this video, to comment in the comment section, to share it on your social media. You can also follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Okay, now let's get started for real. The Brat, who we all know and love, okay, from her rapping, she's on Growing Up Hip Hop. She's also on This Nation. The Brat recently said how she has come out of the closet after 20 odd years of being in the closet. I'm like, but ain't you 40? So don't tell me you've been in the closet your whole life. I'm not sure, okay? And she is engaged to, or at least in a relationship with Big Booty Judy, better known as the entrepreneur Jessica Dupart. Now they were introduced by Lisa Ray. That's not nothing surprising. Lisa Ray knows lots of lesbians, including her sister. But the Brat says how she never felt comfortable enough to come out, mainly because she likes being private. And her family was very religious. You know what I'm saying? Her grandma was, deep into the church and everything or whatnot. And she didn't want anybody in the church, you know what I'm saying, hazing her grandma. Because her granddaughter, you know what I'm saying, out here liking girls, out there hunching girls, out there tripping with girls, out there scissoring with the ladies, okay? But, I said to myself, when, the Brat came out the closet. I said, the Brat was in the closet that had no door. Because we saw the Brat was a lesbian back in the Funkified days. Okay, look. I'm not saying that she herself was not out and proud. What I'm saying is we saw right through them doors. Maybe we had X-ray vision, I'm not sure. But I'm like, girl, the whole world knew. I feel like it's still a relief to her to be able to say out loud publicly, I'm gay. Now, the way that she did it, to me, wasn't a coming out, but it was a coming out. Her, fiance, girlfriend, whatever, got her a good old car for her birthday. They both posted about it on their social medias, and now it's the first time that she acknowledged, one, that she's in a relationship with a woman. And so that was her way of coming out. And I think that's a good thing or whatever. She brought up the way that she got reaction from people. She said, oh my God, the reaction made me feel like, why did I do this shit a long time ago? I got so many positive messages, phone calls, and I had at least 1,500 texts. My DMs were flooded too. I'm like, well, I guess so, whatever. She said there were some people saying we knew it, well, good for you to know. But now I know it. Now I'm able to say it, and I did this on my own terms. Again, I had boyfriends in high school. and then dated girls and guys. So for a long time, I was bisexual. She also brought up how, her and Big Booty Judy are kind of like the, Atlanta's version of Ellen and Portia. This is a little compliment of each other, a little lesbian couple them or whatever. She brings up how some of her exes would not have been able to handle social media the way it's done now, but Judy has taught her all. Her name Jessica has taught her all about how to handle the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you find somebody who was able to teach you and help you learn something, that's they the one. At least for right now. She do bring up how her mama doesn't really condone her being a lesbian or whatever. She's not out here, loud and proud about her daughter, having a girlfriend and liking women. But her mom still loves her unconditionally. And I feel like people forget that there's a way to not like something that someone is doing because it's not your preference. I'm saying they're not hurting anybody. But it's not your preference. And to say, hey, that ain't my thing, whatever, but I love you anyway. Okay, you don't look for me to be out here, boasting and doing that. But I love you. And hopefully, mama ain't, any kind of way to, big booty Judy. But the Brat is now out and proud. But again, Brat, we already knew. But we love you anyway. Okay? Terry Crews, okay? Terry Crews. We know from Everybody Take Chris, from White Chicks and other movies and TV shows he has been associated with. Terry Crews is all talking about how he wants to apologize again to Gabrielle Union. Now, we know both of them were on America's Got Talent. Terry is still on the show. Gabrielle is not. Okay, Gabrielle had made allegations of discrimination and racial issues, sexist issues going on with the show, and she felt like that was one of the reasons that she was let go after just one season. So we know all of that had happened, and when Terry Crews asked about it, he kind of was like, you know what, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't never heard nothing. I ain't never saw nothing. He kind of just didn't help Gabrielle in any way, shape, or form, considering, in my opinion, them two being the only black people on the show. Okay, I don't know who worked behind the scenes, but I'm like, you are two African Americans whose face is shown daily or weekly or however. I don't watch the show, but when it comes on. So I do feel like there's the things where we should try to support one another, even if it's not to lie and say, yep, if she said it happened, it happened. It's the things where you can support someone without making false claims to help them. You can just be supportive and not say shit. Okay? But Terry Crews did not do that. He went on a whole little rant like, all I have to, worry about is my wife. And I ain't see shit or whatever. I ain't trying to, all this mess he went on and said last time, whatever. But now he says he realizes that as a black man, he should be held accountable for supporting black women. I'm like, oh, so unlike when you were shucking and jiving for NBC and America's Got Talent or whatever, because you double down on not supporting Gabrielle in any way. I think she can be whatever sometimes or whatnot, but I do feel like she is always and has always been for the people, okay, like us. And I feel like there is no reason for her to cause issue and conflict when there is no reason to do that. I feel like she has been an actress long enough to not want to cause bullshit when there is no bullshit to be caused. So I feel like if she had some complaints, they had to be logical. Because who wants to become the difficult black actress? Because that's what they would label her as. So I feel like Terry Crews acting as if, back then, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't have to support her. I don't have to, big her up. I only have to worry about the opinion of my wife. And to now say, well, that's different. I feel differently. And what he said was, the murder of George Floyd has forced me to search my heart to find out what more can I do as a human being, as a citizen, and more specifically as a black man to ensure our community could not only survive but thrive in this new world. Whites have always had privilege and systematic racism built in, a fact that has been proven over and over again with the senseless deaths of unarmed black men and women with no one being held accountable. But I also see that I am privileged as a man in a society that also has sexism built in. This privilege carries over into my community as a black man in relationship with black women, okay? And in this light, I want to make further amends with black women, and in particular, Gabby Union, for not recognizing the privilege I have, especially in the workplace, and adding this fact to my early apology. And I feel like it should not take all of this for Terry Crews, who seems to be an intelligent man, for him to realize the way he reacted to people that's saying, why did you try your best to not support her and distance yourself from her speculated claims as you did before? And I feel like it's because he was shucking and jiving, okay? This shucking and jiving. And now that there's this resurgence of supporting each other, now he wants to be supportive. But before, I don't think anyone was asking anything of him except, hey, you don't have to even lie for her, but at least don't make it seem as if she's a liar. And the way he was saying things back then made it seem like, well, there's no issues to me on the set. This is the most diverse that I have ever seen. I can't imagine there being any diversity issues or any sexism issues. I have no idea about that. And you as a black man being on set with a black woman, and you can probably feel it, she probably doesn't feel supported. You didn't help the situation at all. So do I think Terry Crews is oh so enlightened and wants to be helpful? No, I think he wants to look good for the cameras or whatever, and not still say bullshit. Gone somewhere, Terry Crews. We ain't got time for it. I need him to put some action behind his words, because again, I don't think Gabrielle Union was lying. I just don't. I don't see the reason for her having to lie. I think people don't understand the microaggression that we as black people have to deal with at work and in work situations, to where as a man you may not get me saying it's these sexism issues because you're so used to it and you're so used to accepting it, and she isn't, and she wasn't. And when she spoke out, you was kind of like, oh, not me, sir. I love it, sir. I love all the fat black people I see here, sir. I love it all. And I felt like that's what he did. So hopefully he talked to her in private and had that same, conversation or whatever. I mean, we support you because you're a black man. We get that. But I feel like, don't use this as a time to get brownie points from people who was looking at you sideways because you was up there shucking and jiving. So we have Trina. Okay, good old rock star Trina apologized for the comments that she made on the radio earlier this week. Now look, she technically made 2 apologies. I'm going to say this. The first one that Trina did on the radio show, I was like, bullshit the whole time, okay? Now, we know that she was on the radio, I think it was on Monday, talking about how, these animals out here act like they escaped from a zoo. And I feel safe when I'm out here driving if I get pulled over because I have my license, my registration, and my insurance. You know what I'm saying? We know that she was saying all of this. She was defending herself and doubling down on all these things on the radio on Monday when she was on there, and Trick kept trying to set her, Trina, wrong road. She kept going at it and was like not letting up on it or whatever. But on Thursday, it was a whole different tune. Now, she came on the radio, calm Trina voice, after speaking with the commissioner. I'm like, the commissioner, okay? I've learned more about what's happening and about figuring out a solution and blah, 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 blah. It was like, Snoopy and them and Charlie Brown and them, it was like, want, in my opinion, okay? Now, the thing is, I just don't get why it took her having to speak with the commissioner to realize what she was saying was some bullshit and stuff, okay? What did the commissioner say to you that was oh so different than what you witness every day as a black woman in America? I don't understand. I don't need not a commissioner, governor, anybody else to advise me on me saying, anything like, what I'm saying, I'm not scared to be riding around here in my car. Bitch, you should be. I am, and I don't even live in a heavily racial area right now. Like it's well before. Now everything is a little bit scary. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like even before this happened, I still, when I get pulled over, I'm recording it. I just feel like we have to be aware of that. So I don't get what she learned in that day or so from the commissioner that made her feel like, oh, I was wrong. I had no idea about all these things the commissioner said to me. And I felt like, if that's the case, what made you say all that stuff before? What changed in those 2 days? Was it the backlash? Was it them saying, if you don't apologize, we're going to fire you? Okay, you already know that Love and Hip Hop is on pause. Do you want to put this on pause too? Your albums ain't selling or whatever. You ain't got no clothing line. You ain't got no tea to sell. Like, I think you should apologize. This is your check. Apologize. That's what I felt like it was. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing, and I never said that black people were animals. I didn't say that. You sometimes do not have to say these specific words. Oh, black people are animals. When you see what they are saying already, you were adding to the stupid rhetoric of the people out here doing things are animals. You kind of just added to the bullshit of it all. The fact that you weren't specific enough does not mean that you were vague enough to not include black people, periods. Trina was speaking in anger. And what happens is, you can't speak in anger, and when someone else is trying to have a positive conversation or just trying to have a clear she wasn't trying to have a clear conversation. Like, she was upset to the point where we saw Trick trying to help steer her away from the crash, and she kept saying, no, I'm gonna crash, no, don't crash, I'm gonna crash. She kept putting herself into the line of fire. Now what she said at first was, I just want to sincerely apologize to everybody I offended by what I said. I spoke passionately about people destroying our community here in Miami, Florida, Dade County, Liberty City, and inner cities. I'm not trying to take away anything from anyone or anybody that was abused from police. She said, I can see where that was insensitive. Okay, so I take full responsibility. Okay, because it was a mistake. I'm hurting, but I'm standing with everybody else. I'm posting. I'm promoting. I'm here for my people. And I said, well, whatever. And when people call bullshit on that apology, she then went on IG and put up a whole apology itself. Okay, now this is what she put. Now, she said, this week felt like an out-of-body experience. I am a roller coaster of emotions brought on by the events of the world we all live in. Somebody else wrote this for her. These are times of great I don't know, I can't read the word, and trauma. Something in trauma. I don't know what that word is. It tummy? I don't know what that word means. I may be done. I am not perfect. I've fallen short. I have been racially profiled, and I've had trouble articulating my emotions in the face of personal frustrations. I don't want my people to question if I stand with them. I do. I bleed the same blood. I feel exactly what you feel. Please don't allow my delivery to confuse my stance on equality, on justice, which is essential for all people. I take full responsibility for my actions and for my confusion that I might have caused regarding my feelings on what we're all dealing with right now. When I said what I said, I was accurately, no, I was acutely, is it acutely? I think it's acutely. That's not accurately. I was acutely upset with those who are using the peaceful demonstration as a vehicle for their own intentions. There is never an excuse for evil in these trying times. This is incredibly personal for me. I remember when Arthur McDuffie was killed by police and the riots that gripped over town in Miami as a whole. I was as a kid, lived with my family, and it stayed and it stayed with me. It's just as real now as it was 40 years ago. From the bottom of my heart, I sincerely apologize for any grief I have caused. I live my life on the values of respect and regard for all people, and I will continue to do so. None of us are perfect, but thank God that we all have the ability to reflect, dissect, and begin anew. And I mean, that apology I won't say was as bullshitty as the first one. I still feel like it should not have taken her all this time to reflect, to realize what she said was crazy. And it's just a thing to where in the moment of it all, I'm like, what are you doing? What you really? And even after she was off the air and she was on social media and she was still going with it, like she was still, spewing the same way. I said what I said. I said what I said. And again, I feel like it was more. I felt like it was less her coming to some realization and more of her people like, girl, do you not get what you're doing? And it took for her to get this full backlash to want to apologize. I'm not saying her apology doesn't mean anything and she doesn't mean it. What I mean is you should have been aware before the fact. Okay? Period. So, I mean, is Trina canceled? I mean, in some people she probably is. Can she redeem herself? Yes. Because it's not as if she wouldn't say, nothing matters. I mean, I think she would just totally blind and stupid and dumb to say what she said on the radio and then go on Twitter and, regurgitate it. And then I also feel like because she was beefing with, Masika online, that kind of fueled her anger and she didn't get a clear head until she was able to calm down. They're like, do you realize what you've done? Like, you've been up here burning down your own platform, and for what? For what? Like, nothing she said was helping the cause. But, hopefully she's learned her lesson. Hopefully she will move forward and be more smart and stop reacting to things so angrily. Is that a word? With so much anger, let's just say that. And let's see what's next. New couple alert. We have a whole new couple that no one knew about. Chris Tucker and India Ari. Now, this was all on Twitter. It was all on Twitter like, oh my God, India Ari and Chris Tucker been dating for 13 years and no one knew the whole time. I'm like, what? I didn't know they was a couple for 13 years. I'm like, what does come from? Who said that? I was like, who said that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've heard that Chris Tucker has dated other people in the past 13 years. So I was like, let me think. And I'm glad I waited to talk about this because, again, India Ari was like, oh my God, I'm trending on Twitter. What's going on? And she said, I'm trending because people are saying that I'm in a relationship for 13 years. She said, me and Chris Tucker have been dating for 13 years. Woo, child, that has been strong black love. And she then cleared the air and said, look, no, I do not date Chris Tucker. We have not been together for 13 years. We went on a date or two about 13 years ago, but that's it. That's it. So everyone was all up in arms, like, oh my God, that's real black love. That shows that people can keep their relationships a secret and no one ever knows and all these things. It wasn't even true. They went on a date 13 years ago, and I don't even know where the rumor started from. It was all of a sudden, it was all over Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, Chris Tucker was at one point was dating Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child for a little bit of a minute. That's I'm looking like he could not have been in a whole relationship with Islam because he dated other people. Okay, India Ari, however, did have a new song out. It's called Crazy, and the video is out on her YouTube channel. Okay, it's a beautiful song. It's a really good video too, and I feel like India Ari is one artist who I feel like has not evolved. And what I mean by that is I feel like she has always been this full-fledged woman who knew who she was, so there has not been this evolution of who she is as a person. I do think her music has evolved, but also stayed the same. It stayed true to who she was. But I feel like I love the fact that she's always seemed so self-aware of the woman she was and the message that she wanted to put out in her music. And I think India Arie is a great musical treasure. And I really hope that she gets all the flowers that she deserves, you know what I'm saying, while here on this earth and stuff like that. So yeah, they're not a couple, not at all. Now, I don't know if they both single, but I know they're not together. Okay? Now what's... And when Ben and Karen doesn't work news, we have Meghan McCain. Okay, Meghan McCain, who y'all are very much aware of the fact I don't like her. Not one bit. She gets on all the nerves that I have. So, this week, Meghan McCain went on Twitter and she posted this tweet, okay? My neighborhood in Manhattan is eviscerated and looks like a war zone. De Blasio and Kimono, girl, not Kimono. I think it's Kumo. I don't know the man's name. Are an utter disgrace. Cuomo, girl, I don't know. This is not America. Our leaders have abandoned us and continue to let great American cities burn to the ground and be destroyed. I could never have fathomed this. Okay. Because as she said, her neighborhood is eviscerated and looks like a war zone. That's what she posted on Twitter, okay? And we like, oh, where does she live in Manhattan? That's eviscerated. Oh, that's so sad. Her neighborhood, okay, her residential area is a war zone. Well, what happens is when the Karens after Karen, sometimes other Karens who just happen to be white calls them out on their bullshit, okay? And her neighbor, okay, Kristen Bartlett, posted in retaliation, in response to Meghan's tweets. Meghan, we live in the same building, and I just walked outside. It's fine. And what happens when that happens? That happens to be when a white woman is being a Karen and it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, so Meghan was lying. Meghan is forever trying to make things seem like one way or the other. So she then had to reply, because that's what Karens do. Even Karens named Meghan. And she then said, I am 6 months pregnant. A gospel organization is about to run a story of where me and my family are currently. I sent a tweet yesterday based on the news I saw happening in Midtown. We all have been watching all over different media platforms, okay? And this is my thing. That means, for one, Meghan isn't even at home. Meghan isn't even at the place where she said look, I can't comment on how anything looks in downtown Detroit. You want to why? Because I live in Warren. I haven't seen downtown Detroit. Period. Okay? And you can't say, oh my God, I've been watching the news and everything looks so torn up. My own neighborhood included. If you're not at home. You can only say that if you are in the area and you see it. Okay? If you see it. You didn't see shit. You wasn't there. And I feel like Meghan always wants attention and loves to play the victim and be like, I'm so innocent. All I did was try to tweet about things I saw on the news. No, you made it seem like in your first tweet that by your own eyeballs that your whole neighborhood is fucked up. But your neighbor, neighboring Karen, then said, you're lying, Meghan. You're both-faced lying. And you got, oh my God, they were going to talk about where I was currently. You ain't in New York. You not where you was talking about you were and what was all messed up. Karen, Meghan, loves to be like, you know what? I'm so honorable because my father is John McCain. And Meghan talks about her father's accomplishments as if they're things that she has done, as because her father was this great man that she is a great woman. And you did not, his goodness did not be passed on to you like the goddamn Black Panther powers after eating the goddamn vibranium plant. That ain't what happened, okay? The Black Panther power was not bestowed unto you, okay? It did not happen. Your father's powers didn't come to you, okay? They were not passed down like when grandma died and you get her good pots, okay? They did not bestow upon to you grandma's good cooking pots. Your father's legacy is not yours to take and run with and make it seem as if because he was a good person, he spoke well, that you are that too. You are kind of the opposite of your daddy because people don't like you. They loved your father. Okay, and so you have to be sure that you're going to build up your own goodness and stop relying on, I'm Megan McCain. I'm John McCain's daughter, and I can't possibly be posting bullshit, but you are. She knew she wasn't in New York, and she knew for a fact that she had not seen with her own two eyes her neighborhood being destroyed. That's not what you do. Because that spreads false propaganda. Okay, it makes it feel as if the residential area for where you live has been looted and booted and blown up or ransacked, and that was not true. Okay, what you should have said was, I've been watching the news, and it looks to be as areas in New York are all messed up. Once I get home, I hope my residential area does not look like a war zone. But no, you like to speak from, oh my God, feel sorry for me because the neighborhood outside, like my neighborhood, is messed up. Oh, lying heifer. She really made it seem like she saw things, and that ain't even true. Your neighborhood is fine, white woman. White Karen lying on Twitter. Some people are stupid, and when they are stupid, we have to give them the credit for their stupidity, and that is Blueface. Blueface is a rapper, okay? The most I know him is from that song Tatiana. However, recently, like yesterday or today, he has become even more dumb, okay? He was in a furniture store shopping for furniture, and what he decided to do was, I don't know why it's so bright right now, but what he decided to do was he decided to, on his little Snapchat, on his little IG story, say to the salespeople, I need that George Floyd discount. I need a Black Lives Matter discount. And he's laughing. I'm looking like, it's like, for some people, stupidity grown trees, and it's just out here in the world like oxygen. I'm like, what? Like, why would you say that? You are in a furniture store and you were looking for a discount because Black Lives Matter. I'm tired of these younger artists doing this dumb shit and saying dumb things and then wanting to apologize later. Because Tokyo just also was caught on camera playing with her friend or whatever, and said, I'm a George Floyd Jew, as she tried to like put him in a choke. I'm looking like, the pure, and she went and she did a wholeheartedly, like 4-5 minute apology where she was sitting in the car crying and all that stuff. Boom. But I still feel like you have to have a conscious effort to know what is inappropriate. And I feel like joking about things and wanting a discount. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I just don't get it. But I'm like, you want a George Floyd discount at the furniture store? First of all, sir, afford what you can afford. If you can't afford it, don't shop there. Second of all, you don't get that. No one deserves a discount for a man losing his life. I'm like, and then to sit and laugh, like, what's funny? Let me know so I can laugh too, because I ain't been laughing about shit. Definitely not about what's going on recently. Like, I just don't get the stupidity of it all. So we need to be sure to hold people accountable for their dumbness, for their stupidity. And today's Stupidity Saturday is to Blue fucking Face. Now, he's a handsome young man. He looked like a cute Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. If Sideshow Bob was a black man with shorter hair, this is what he would look like, okay? This is a cuter version of it all. But I still feel like he's stupid. Honey, Blac Chyna's still out here trying to sue these Kardashian people, and we don't care. Like, we don't care. Take it over there somewhere. Now, we all know back when Rob and Chyna was dating, they had a little reality show called Rob and Chyna on E! News. And it was canceled Okay, we ain't get no season 2. And Blac Chyna, ever since the show was canceled, has been actively trying to get a lawsuit going to say that she was wrongfully canceled from the show and all these things. Well, now she's given a whole new reason as to why the show did not go on. Her lawyer, should I say, brought up that, sorry to keep getting so bright, that the NBC executives never told Chyna and her team that Kris Jenner, Khloe, Kim, and Kylie all claimed that Blac Chyna beat Rob up, okay? And they held some emergency meeting that Chyna was never made aware of until recently. Now, I always assumed season 2 got canceled because Rob and Chyna broke up before season 2 came out, and I feel like if they're not a couple, why put out the show? But they could have showed what happened. They could have done that, but they did not. Okay, now they said, her lawyer said, no one at NBC Universal ever informed Chyna that Kris Jenner has secretly accused her of severely beating Rob. Next, without Chyna's knowledge, Kris Jenner and 3 of her daughters, Kim, Khloe, and Kylie, were able to convince executive that they needed to convene an emergency meeting to discuss the cancellation of season 2 of Rob and Chyna, based on the false accusation that Chyna has severely beaten up Rob Kardashian. Now, it says NBC Universal executives never invited Chyna, the alleged violent cast member, to the meeting. The lawyer also brought up how the NBC executives never viewed the existing unaired season 2 footage that conclusively proved that Kris Jenner lied when she claimed that Chyna had beat the shit out of Rob's face. Now, I'm like, I agree. If there's footage, they should have showed it. That should have been investigated. If you are accusing someone of being a violent cast member, why was those allegations not investigated? Why was the show just canceled and canned? Like, why? That's the part I don't get. It's really, really weird. And so, she said because the show was canceled, that she was greatly impacted financially, within her livelihood, and now NBC deprived her of due process. Look, the lawyer also said, the 3 white executive level decision makers at the E! Network and NBC Universal completely denied any due process to their Black reality TV star regarding the fate of season 2 of Rob and Chyna. And they also said that the company needed to diversify its executives to reflect the diversity of its talent. I do feel like you cannot have a whole white board of people if you have a diverse list of clientele and talent who is on the show. Now, the Kardashian and Jenner attorney, blasted Chyna, saying that she was leveraging the emotions and pain of what's going on currently to kind of get people to feel some way about her, saying how this is a 2-year-old lawsuit, that she's changed her defense more times than we can count. Sadly, unsurprisingly to anyone, she has stooped to a new low, changing her defense to try to leverage the emotions and pains of the moment, insulting the pain and suffering of real victims of racial injustice and systematic racism. We take these allegations very seriously, and once again, there is no Rob and Chyna show if there is no Rob and Chyna. I call bullshit. My thing is, if y'all recorded a show while they were a couple, the season could have aired. Period. And then after that season, because at that point, they was broken up. I feel like for them to act as if they don't, shoot the show when things are going on and then air it later. That's how a show goes on. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. They may not have gotten a season 3, or they were given a season 2, and y'all recorded footage for season 2. It could have aired. Period. I think it's kind of dumb. And from the act as if, I don't think Chyna's allegations this particular time is like trying to, garner some kind of sympathy. I feel like if she just found out, oh, this is what y'all did back then, it's in her right to say, I did not know that y'all lied on me and did this and made these decisions without my knowledge. And it does look weird that, that was done for the one black cast member. You know what I'm saying? So I think, look, the case needs to go away. Rob and Chyna are not a couple at all, but I do feel like she may deserve some sort of compensation for the show being canceled, for when she wasn't made aware of certain allegations against her. But again, at the end of the day, she got a whole Kardashian kid, and until that daughter grows up and gets married, she is still a Kardashian. So I mean, at the end of the day, she still got the last laugh. Until, Rob gets somebody else pregnant, and it's a boy, and then this whole thing. But who knows? Anyway, honey. So I watch a lot of Bravo shows, and I love the show Flipping Out. It's called Flipping Out. I think it's called Flipping Out with Jeff Lewis. I've watched it since season 1. And Jeff has always been a bit of an asshole, around people or whatever. However, he has his own little radio show, whatever, and recently he has become under fire for some comments he made regarding protesting and rioting and looting and all those things. Now, on his show on whatever day, he brought up how, he, just doesn't like it. How, the police are using these rubber bullets, and the rubber bullets doesn't do anything. Like, I saw people get hit with rubber bullets and they get back up, whatever. That doesn't do anything. And just, like, being a complete idiot or whatever. He's just, I will move out of LA if I could. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that there's no such thing as a peaceful protest or whatever. Maybe we should protest to get our show on more times or whatever. We can just throw rocks at police. We can burn buildings down. We can, get right. We can loot and there's no consequence. There's no arrest. There's no nothing or whatever. I'm like, really? Even brought up how he's very happy to live in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? And I watched those kids getting shot and getting right back up from the rubber bullets and running. What's the point? They didn't work. I'm looking like, oh, so you want them to hit them with stuff that keeps them down and dead? Is that Jeff? So, of course, he was met with tons of backlash and stuff. People even calling for his little shows to be canceled. He came back, okay, because that was what he said on Monday. On Tuesday, I will not backpedal from the things I said yesterday. I am not going to be one of those people who give my opinion, then realize people don't like it, and then delete my stuff and apologize. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I will clarify. And I'm like, but do you really need to? He then brings up how, I'm saying, I was accused of being ignorant and spoiled and privileged, and I will agree. I've led a very privileged life. I've had opportunities that other people have not. But that does not mean that I don't have empathy. And where I felt like I felt yesterday was that I did not discuss the whole George Floyd incident in detail and how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? He then brings on how, you know what I'm saying, I felt like it was a despicable act. I do think that he was treated inhumanely and it was barbaric. He said that. He said, I do not tolerate police brutality, discrimination, or racism of any kind, he then said. That includes breaking and entering, theft, arson, assault, and battery, and vandalism, or whatever. I still believe that these protests are dangerous. You can tell me all day long that they're peaceful protests, but I spent what I figured about 11 hours watching the news coverage, and it made me very upset and very angry. I felt fearful because as a white person, I am privileged, but that does not mean I can't be scared. I support the movement, but I can't get behind this particular strategy, and I think it's being grossly mishandled. And he also brought up how, I don't think burning the city is the solution. And he even went to say, I feel like at this point, after 7 days, I think the message has been sent and received. We all get it. And everybody understands now. It's loud and clear. I think now it needs to stop. Jeff, I have watched your show for years, and I think this is an idiotic, dumb way to think. To think that after 7 days of protest, oh, it's fine now. You be saying that same shit if this is about a gay person, being murdered. No, you would not, because he's a gay white man. It's crazy the amount of white privilege that a person has to be able to say, oh, y'all have complained and protested for 7 days. Now, let's just stop. We get it. No, you don't. Because if you did, you would realize people protested for years. The Montgomery boycott went on for 381 days back in the 60s, okay? And we still have social and racial inequality. And for you to feel like that you have this huge platform and you then say, hey, y'all been complaining and protesting for 7 days. Let it go. We get it. Y'all don't, because we're still being murdered. During the protest, they are still murdering and oppressing and harassing and beating black men and women, and also people of other races. They don't get it. So the fact that you sat for 11 hours and watched some things that were very fucking uncomfortable, so what? We have been killed for years, okay, on TV, in the news, in the world, and we see it. And I watched the news for 11 hours and it looks crazy. But guess what? It's not our fault, bruh. So do not say, hey, y'all have been protesting for 7 days. We get it. Let's move on. No. Tell your white counterpart to stop doing this shit. If your white counterparts were not doing this shit, it would not be a reason to protest. Use your whiteness for greatness. Don't use it to be an asshole, Jeff. You are so dumb. And no one is saying that you cannot have an opinion that you don't want, that you don't support looting and rioting and destructive property. We get that. But to say, I feel like at this point, after 7 days, I think the message has been sent and received. We all get it, and everybody understands now. It's loud and clear. I think now it needs to stop. That line is what, to me, is a bunch of bullshit. A crock of bullshit, if you ask me. What? So you think it's over now? You think, okay, we know y'all don't like it. Okay, that's fine. But what you did not say is, it shouldn't take this long for us to get it. It should have taken all this to get to this point. But no, you want to continue to be a privileged white man. I can't support privileged white men. So if you watch Jeff Lewis' show, if you watch his show on Bravo, please urge Andy and them to not bring his show back. He's privileged enough. Fuck Jeff Lewis. I forgot to record an ending, honey. So anyway, that's the whole guy. I done got my little burger. Okay. And I'm like, girl, you need an ending. Okay. So anyway, that was Gossip Chats. Make sure to like, to comment, and to subscribe to my channel, to share this video. You can also follow me on IG and or Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. There'll be another Gossip Chat up because there's other things I wanted to scroll through the blogs for some of the other things that has happened as well. So not wait for, but no, another one is coming, okay? And stuff. So anyway, until next time, people. Peace.